Hello, college football fans. Welcome to a special edition of Sports News. Yet again, I'm doing this for another episode. This is going to be another series. So follow this series. It's college football predictions. This is not conference to conference. We're going from week one. The big games in college football is back, baby. So what better way to kick off college football than these predictions? Now, of course, there are games that are happening right now. The Tar Heels and Gophers, Minnesota Gophers, they're playing right now. Tar Heels are up 7-0. North Dakota State and Colorado are playing today as well. And I can get those predictions out of the way, but I can predict the games that are going to happen Saturday, and these are notable games. Let's start with the big ones. Let's go down in Atlanta. The Clemson Tigers, 14 ranked Clemson Tigers, against the number one ranked team in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs, which will play at on 12 p.m. on ABC and ESPN Plus. 82.4% pick Georgia, 17.6% pick Clemson. Georgia's favorite, minus 11 and a half. You got to think we got to be this smart to pick Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs. Let's recap their season. Last season, start with Georgia. Last season, a lot of expectations. Can they be the first team to win three-peat in college football? But as soon as you look, they are really this good team right now. And then as soon as they get to the ACC championship game, SEC against Alabama, a rock bottom loss, and they were knocked out of the college football playoffs. Hard to see that. But this year is the year they're going to have to be really confident. We're going to be seeing some mean Bulldogs. Of course, you don't have Brock Bowers. He's gone. Matt McConkey, gone. Your quarterback's going to be entering in his final year, so expect Carson Beck to have probably a Heisman Trophy season. Defense is going to be really the more question. Okay, are there still going to be the best defense in of all the land? They're going to take on a Clemson offense that last season we all thought Clemson could win the SEC. And yeah, moving forward a little bit. And then you heard me right, Kirby Dabo. Your offense was not really good. Here's why they were not good. Injuries. Injuries are affecting college football. And Cade Connect, who's entering his against his second season as a starter, expect him to make some good plays with a new offense coordinator. And I can't tell you, is this the end of the dynasty for Clemson? Yes. Is it not like Alabama's? We'll get to Alabama later on. This game's going to be good. This is going to be a good game. 11 and a half favorites from Georgia. I think this is going to be a Georgia Bulldogs win. I'm going to say they win it by, how do I say this? They'll win it by 15 points. The Bulldogs will send a message to the college football world that they're the number one team in the country for good reason. The best college coach in this century, well, not Nick Saban. Nick Saban, give respect to him. He's the greatest college coach of all time. Kirby Smart is in that list too. You got a quarterback who wants to win yet another national championship in this final year, and this defense is going to be more dominant against Clemson's offense. Expect Clemson's offense to have good weapons this year, but I don't think this year is going to be a big win for Clemson. I think the Bulldogs step up in a mean way to send a message to say we are the threat in college football. So Bulldogs fans, ooh, ooh, ooh. You guys will win it by Georgia will win it against Clemson. All right, now to the big game. In West Virginia, the Penn State Mountaineers, ranked number 8, taking on West Virginia Mountaineers on Fox at 12 p.m. Eastern. Joel Klatt will call the game on this one. 77.7% for Penn State. and 22.3% on West Virginia. Penn State is favored -8. And the reason why is because West Virginia's offense is going to look new. They're the same offense they're playing. They're going to probably be the team to watch in the Big 12. Last year's first year for West Virginia, I think they would have been an underdog team last year. But with all the injuries and maybe quarterback play, I think this would be the year they could surprise a lot of us in the Big 12. But this one could be a big step up. If they can beat, now let's say, what if they beat Penn State? If they beat Penn State, West Utah and Kansas State, Oklahoma State, Kansas, y'all better watch out for West Virginia because they're gonna be the powerhouse team next year, or maybe this year. Penn State, on the other hand, this is going to be the year they're going to be in the college football playoffs. Of course, with the new 12-team playoff bracket, they're going to get in. But if you want to get in the playoffs, you want to start off with a win. Last season, they beat West Virginia in Penn State. Now they get to play West Virginia. This is a tough one. I love James Franklin over there in Penn State. I like what he's doing with Drew Allender and at quarterback. You look at this conversation with Joel Klatt. They bring in a new defense coordinator, an offense coordinator coming in from Kansas. I think the Penn State is going to be really interesting to watch. I'm going to go Penn State. I think they win it by. I'm going to say Penn State win it by 7. 7-point game. West Virginia, fourth down, last play of the drive, and it's picked off and game sealer, game over. Penn State wins it by 7. I think it's going to be a good game for Penn State and West Virginia. All right, this is the big one. Not the big one, but interesting game. Miami, the number 19 ranked in the country, Miami Hurricanes taking on the Florida Gators. That game is going to be on ABC, ESPN Plus, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. 75.3% picked Florida, 42.7% picked Miami. Miami's favored by -2.5. Miami's going to be the team that's going to be in the ACC championship game. Now, my prediction, I have Clemson and Florida State. I think it's still going to be that. I think Miami's the team to watch too because Cameron Ward is coming in from Washington State, and it's going to be in his final year, of course. Expect Miami to play solid football. They're going to run the football. Cam Ward's going to be taking deep shots. And this is going to be a team that I think would surprise us. But you see, I think Miami Hurricanes might have saw Georgia Tech upsetting their rivals, Florida State. Their eyebrows are, we're going to be the next big threat. Good luck if you try to get into the college football playoff. Meanwhile, for Florida, this is a rocky year, of course, of Bill Nappers in his third year in Florida. I just think there's going to be questions on Florida. Can this team be back as their form when they were national champions in the college football playoffs, a bowl game? I think there's a chance they could be a bowl team. I just think they're going to have to show off. They got to show who they are. This game is going to be interesting. I think Florida could surprise us. I'm going to say Miami wins it by 6. I think the Hurricanes will get away in Gators country, and they will win it by 6. Notre Dame, the number 7 ranked Notre Dame, taking on the 20th ranked Texas A&M on ABC plus ESPN. ABC and ESPN Plus, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC and ESPN Plus. 58.7% pick on Notre Dame, 41.3% pick Texas A&M. This is going to be a fun game because Texas A&M is favored by -3. Why is this going to be a fun game? Because Riley Leonard's making his Notre Dame debut. And Texas A&M's head coach Mike Elko is going to make his debut. Please be a classic game because I've been clapping this game for a long time. Here's why. Riley Leonard went to Duke. Mike Elko was the coach of Duke. This is going to be a fun game. Marcus Freeman's Notre Dame. This could be the team to surprise us in the college football playoffs. Why? Did you hear what Seamus said in College Game Day, and he picked Georgia Tech to win against Florida State, and his national champion is Notre Dame. It's still a playoff team, and this could be one of those years that we could see Notre Dame winning the national championship, or look, it's Boise State. Interesting. Anything can happen, and this is where I'm looking at for Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman. Texas A&M. This is a team that changed a lot of coaches, but now this year it's a new era in Texas A&M. Mike Elko comes in. He was a defense coordinator there in Texas A&M before then taking the head coaching job in Duke. Now he comes back to the place where he was a defensive-minded coordinator over there, and now he's the head coach of Texas A&M. I think this is going to be the game I'm going to be watching because this game really has a lot of implications for playoffs, maybe Notre Dame's season and Texas A&M season. Who am I going to pick in this game? I'm going to go Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's going to be really close. I think they go on the road. They will win it. I think they win it by, I'm going to say they win it by 8. Notre Dame upsetting Texas A&M, and they win it by 8. Let's get to the other games before we get to September 1st. So here are the notable games that you expect to hear. Tomorrow, West Virginia Tech versus Vanderbilt. Virginia Tech taking on Vanderbilt, 12 p.m. on ESPN. Virginia Tech is favored by minus 13.5, and it's going to probably be Virginia Tech. They'll win it by 9. TCU versus Stanford at 10:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. That will probably be a tomorrow game also. TCU is favored by 9, and it's going to stay there. TCU will win it by 9. James Madison taking on Charlotte 49ers at 8 p.m. on ESPNU. James Madison is favored by 8.5, and I'm going to put the Amber Alert because I think the Charlotte 49ers are going to upset James Madison, and they win it by 3. You can say whatever you want, but Charlotte's going to upset James Madison by 3. Watch. Anyways, New Mexico State taking on the number 21 ranked Arizona. That will be on 10:30 p.m. on ESPN. Arizona is favored by minus 31, and I think they will win it by 31. Georgia State taking on Georgia Tech. After that impressive win against Florida State, Georgia Tech is favored by 20.5. They will play at 8 p.m. on ACC Network. I think Georgia Tech wins it, and they'll go 2-0. They'll win it by 15.5. Western Kentucky versus the 5th team in the country, Alabama. It is the Kalen DeBoer era. 7 p.m. on ESPN, and Alabama's favored by 31.5, and I'm going to say they'll win it by 30 points. And then Frisco State taking on the national champions, number 9 ranked team, Michigan. A new era in Michigan. Sharon Moore as the new head coach of Michigan, and you can watch that at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on NBC. Also, you can stream it on Peacock. Michigan is favored by 21. I'm going to say they win it by 22. They'll win it by 22 points. All right, now to the big one on September 1st. This is a game I think I'm going to be interested to watch if I can get there. 23 ranked USC taking on the number 13 ranked team in the country, LSU. And this game will be on ABC, ESPN Plus, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. 44.8% pick USC, 55.2% picks LSU. LSU is favored by minus 4.5. This could be a preview of a college football playoff game, and this could stipulate their season. Here's why. Let's start at USC. No more Caleb Williams. It's now the Dylan Moss era as their new quarterback. Lincoln Riley's under pressure this year. And they're going to a new conference that they're going to be challenged. Of course, you got a new defense corner. Question in this game will also be how's their defense going to look like? Of course, last season their defense wasn't even going well. I just think this USC team, keep an eye on this team. They could probably win the Big Ten. You never know. They're going to take on the 13th team in the country at LSU, which Brian Kelly did a great job in LSU. Of course, he did lead LSU to only one SEC championship game under Brian Kelly. This team is going to be a good roster. Of course, they don't have Jane Daniels. He's gone. No Malik Nabers. But can this team still be that team to compete for the SEC championship game? So I think this is going to be a good game. No Caleb Williams. No Jane Daniels. Right, Rico. Right. Brandon Rice, gone. Malik Nabers, gone. That's a good game. I think this is going to be a close game. Oof. And it's going to be in Allegiant Stadium. Remember where USC played Utah in the Pac-12 championship and they lost there? I think LSU wins it, and they will win it by 6. And LSU will start 1-0, and USC 0-1. That is it for today. And if you want to check out some college football, NFL predictions, follow up right there on the playlist. Check that out. Hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.